notepad. It's so cute. I love it. I'm so happy I found this in like my drawer and I was like, oh, what is this?
Yeah, yours is so detailed and I just, and I just have like this.
Mine are like broad topics. Like if you say a broad topic, I'm like, fuck. Like what page is it on?
The thing at the top of my list that I feel like we should probably talk about is the whole PHO fake out situation that people are really upset about.
Top of my list right now.
People are actually getting really mad about it. People are actually like really, really upset about it.
That was the top of my list.
Mhm.
Like that's the first thing I wrote down.
Same. That's the
Like,
first
before
thing I
I
have
started
on
watching,
here.
I was like, this is we're talking about.
People
this. Like, I
are
don't get
getting
it.
heated over this.
They got so mad. To be fair though, like rightfully so.
Yeah, I
But,
agree. For me personally,
Yeah.
because I didn't watch all the X-Men movies, it wasn't that big of a deal when he showed up, because, like, I didn't know who he was. But, like,
Yeah.
I understand where they're coming from, because, like, you know,
Yeah.
multiverses are really cool.
Exactly.
It makes
it's
a lot
like
of
you
sense.
figure that this one would somehow set up the multiverse,
Yeah.
which it does. in,
But
like,
then they
some
were
real,
like, no, we're just gonna make a
Marvel
joke
way.
now.
It kind of does it like its own. We're not gonna tell you that the multiverse is set
Yeah.
up, but like we're gonna aggressively hint at it so you know that it is.
Yeah. I mean,
Like, okay.
it's not necessarily, like, confirmed that it's not a multiverse, but it's,
Yeah.
like, implied. So I understand
Yeah.
the disappointment.
I like the way that they did play him off as like this like you knew that he wasn't really PHO.
Yeah. Mhm.
It's also like you were like, but like who is he? Like is
Exactly.
it Peter? Exactly.
Exactly.
Off, like X-Men? Is it Peter or is it like just not? It's
Mhm.
just a dude, and it was just dude.
Yeah, and it made sense, too, because, you know, Wanda, she was like, I don't know who you are either.
Exactly. She was like, what?
But then I was really expecting them to do a multiverse with that. So that was a little
I really like
upsetting.
too, especially with the Nexus and everything.
Mhm.
And like Wanda herself is a Nexus being, like she's like literally like the key to the multiverse. They use Nexus and in the comics regardless. And also in reality they were saying about like how Nexus is like opening up like
Mhm.
dimensions and dealing with your trauma, and like Wanda herself is a Nexus being. Like
Yeah.
she is like powerful, she is able to manipulate reality but also manipulate the multiverse itself, like open the multiverse. She's basically like the gateway to the multiverse regardless. So like I feel like that was totally setting up the multiverse
Mhm.
and like the X-Men universe, because you know that the X-Men are coming. Like Marvel does have rights to the X-Men now because they're doing Fantastic Four that was under Fox. They're doing this new project that's called Mutants, which is the X-Men.
Yeah.
So like using Nexus was such, oh, the multiverse exists, but we're not gonna exactly talk
Yes.
about it in
Also,
this
just, like,
show.
to mention
Not
this.
be introducing it because that's Doctor Strange too. I'm gonna assume.
That's also on my list. Doctor
Oh my
Strange,
God,
too.
yes.
How are we tying this in? Because a lot of people were expecting him to show up, and he didn't.
So I feel like if COVID didn't happen and if everything played out like it was supposed to, we definitely would have gotten a Doctor Strange cameo in WandaVision, because the original setup of like the release timeline was that WandaVision, and then like a month later was Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
so it made sense. It would probably make sense to have that happen. They did still set up Doctor Strange to actually. I feel like I couldn't imagine like how else they would have. Probably with like Steven being like, "Yo, Wanda, what the hell are you doing?" kind of thing. I kind of like how it's like
It's subtle.
it's subtle. It's a subtle implication about like, the multiverse itself.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want to think about like the villain of Doctor Strange 2, because I definitely think it probably has to do with Mordo, because the actor who plays him is coming back in the sequel, and you see at the end credits of Doctor Strange 2 that he like murders a dude. That's fun. I also want to think that like Wanda is also kind of like an anti-hero now.
And
I don't want to think of her as a hero. I feel
Me
like
too.
I
I
can't
don't
think
want
of
her to
as
be a hero anymore. I really, really, really want villain Wanda. Not like crazy villain Wanda, but like kind of on her own. I want her to just be like on her own for a while, just like kind of neutral.
If Doctor Strange 2 opened, instead of opening with Steven or like with Mordo or anything like that, if Doctor Strange 2 opens with like a time lapse, not like a time lapse, but like a time flash forward kind of thing of Wanda checking the multiverse for her kids, I would be so happy. And you progressively see her state just deteriorating every time.
Okay, that's also on my list. The twins.
So good.
Where are the twins? They're definitely still
I feel
alive.
like Doctor Strange 2 has to establish the fact that she's looking for her twins.
Yeah.
Like, you set it up that that's what it's gonna be like.
Mm-hmm.
Is it what the show is what the movie's gonna fully be about? Probably not. But will it have something to do with the main plot of the movie? Yeah, definitely.
The only thing though that I'm like a little weirded out with is if they go that line with Wanda trying to find her kids. I feel like it's kind of a step back, because that's what happened when she created the Hex.
That's true.
Was trying to, like, get her family back, but then again, it's also her new family, not her old family that's all dead.
that's actually, like, a solid point, though. I feel like a lot of Wanda's
just, like,
character is, like, her grief, and I feel like they kind of, like, move past it a little bit, but not really, because you know that she's still grieving, and then you have the whole thing with, like, when you hear the twins at the end.
Yeah, she hears now.
So it's like, will they just continue that arc? Like, is her arc over? Like, the trauma's finally hitting her in this, and I feel like your next step could be more trauma, but I feel like if you keep throwing trauma at her, it's just, I would probably start to lose interest, and she's such a badass.
Exactly, you don't want to do the same thing over and over again.
I don't think she solved her trauma. Like, I definitely
she
her, like,
needs therapy still. She can go to those therapy sessions with Bucky and Sam.
Yeah, she needs to go to therapy with Bucky and Sam. I don't think, like, her grief is fully over.
Because she has more to grieve now. And she also has an entire town who hates her, so that might be a little bit of an issue. Speaking of the town, what are we thinking about Agatha, Agnes? What's happening with her? Are you upset that she's kind of gone now? Like, personally, not, like, for the plot, but as a viewer.
Personally, okay. I am so upset about...
I just think it was really kind of underused, like, to give her a whole theme song and, like, make this whole character just, like, to put her back.
And they set her up, like, they set her up incredible. Like, I really do think that they did. I loved her backstory. That was incredible storytelling. Like, it's small storytelling, but it's still storytelling. But I don't want Agatha to be the end because you have so many questions. It's like, okay, where was she hiding all this time?
I don't think her arc is over. It felt like it was going, like, we met her, and then we found out who she was, and it was still rising, and then it was just like, no. And then they just left her there, like as Agnes. They just like, cut her arc in half. I didn't really understand why they did that.
They were to continue with it. I want to kind of go back to, like, her past, more or less. I think that's the only way you could go.
I'm fine with her, like, being back to Agnes now, or, like, being trapped in her nude body thing, nosy neighbor thing, you know? But I feel like if we need to see her whole arc, we need to see her whole arc.
I love her character itself. I feel like it's a very strong character to make as a villain. I kind of want to, like, know her, like, past. It's like, okay, the 1600s and 2023 are very far apart.
Exactly!
What was she doing this entire time?
She's Mother Gothel. She just got the flower.
Oh my God. Yes. That is the only answer.
That's the only answer.
But no, there's so many questions. Like, where was she, like, hiding all of that time?
How did she end up in the Hex? Did she just live there? Did she see the future?
Sense the power?
Did she know Wanda was gonna build it there, and she's like, oh, I need to get the Scarlet Witch, so I'm gonna plant myself here? Or did she just coincidentally live there at the same time as the Hex was created? Closure.
How did she get the Darkhold, and, like, when? She must know somewhat. I want to believe that she probably knows about, like, the mystic arts because she knows about the Sorcerer Supreme. So does she herself know mystic arts, and was she part of, like, Caecilius' army kind of thing?
The thing is,
the Darkhold? Or has she had the Darkhold for, like, forever? Because in Ages of S.H.I.E.L.D., they have the Darkhold.
I just don't get why they didn't do, like, a whole episode about that. You know the episode about all of Wanda's trauma? How people were, like, a little, like, why are they doing this? We already know that she's, like, traumatized. I liked the episode, I really did, but I felt like, looking back now, I feel like that should have been, like, a whole episode about Agatha, not just, like, the first scene about her past. I felt like that whole episode should have just been about her, how she's been doing this thing all along, and then the episode after that would, like, be a little bit, we could have, like, a little bit of Wanda's trauma in there, and then the episode after that would be, like, the finale. Or they just do 10 episodes.
I feel like if they had 10 episodes, the part where, like, they show Agatha's past, I feel like that was, like, a setup for, like, the actual episode 8. Wanda's trauma was actually episode, like, 9, and then the finale was actually episode 10. I feel like with Agatha's, like, introduction, like her villain introduction, like, how she is this powerful and everything, didn't fit with the episode. Like, obviously, like, they gave us this reveal, and I feel like with, like, shows, I feel like with, like, MCU shows, or even with, like, any other show, like, you always have, like, an episode specifically about, like, the...
especially if you reveal it so dramatically in the last episode. You get, like, one scene about her, but now we're just gonna focus on Wanda again.
It's like, okay, well, what did she do? Like,
yes, thank you! I want to know why they were burning her.
She said, like, they and he, and, like, who are they and he?
And
like,
why were they burning her if they're, like, clearly witches, too? I didn't get that at all.
What did she do that was so bad? Like, it's so... They set it up for more questions, and I don't get it!
That's okay. My other thing with this, maybe one of the biggest problems, maybe this is a good thing, I don't know, I think this was a bit of a problem, was with, like, the way it's released. If you give fans an entire week in between episodes, they're gonna theorize the crap out of the episode until next week. So then when like their big theories don't come true, they're gonna be disappointed because if they have so much time to look into it, they're gonna find things that they want to happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I loved the finale, but it kind of felt a little bit like underwhelming almost.
Really felt like a part 1.
But yes, exactly.
I don't know. I was glad that they released it by week because I just like you're still interested in it and like you won't forget about it and you get more time out of it. But then like you also have like the under part where it's just like, okay, well now you've got fans who are like the movies from the comics from both and like the TV shows, and you have everyone just pouring their ideas into
exactly.
You give them no direction.
And everyone gets so excited about it, and then
exactly. And like people were waiting, and then it's just like, oh, this is not right. Like,
oh my gosh, wait. Also, the thing about Cameo, they were talking about how Paul Bettany said it was him.
Paul Bettany freaking just trolled that.
That's hilarious. I don't care if anyone's salty about that, they need to get over it. That is hilarious.
That's so funny. I'm so sorry. I like saw that and I was like, but the finale hit and I was like, wait a minute.
What?
Paul Bettany was talking about himself, wasn't he? And I was like,
and he even said like he thought people were gonna be disappointed when they found out that it was him.
I was like, Paul never.
That's so funny. That is so funny.
That truly was like funny to watch.
Yeah.
It was so fun to watch that thing, the finale hit, and I watched it, and I checked Twitter, and I was like, damn.
He really just trolled all of us, and I'm honestly fine with it. That's hilarious. He literally trolled an entire fandom. That's so funny.
He fooled everyone. Like, oh my god.
And I think that the difference between that and like the Pietro thing was that Pietro, Peter, X-Men, whatever, that was in canon. This was just Paul Bettany, like, in an interview. They're two completely different things.
There is no setup to WandaVision, and I love it.
Yeah.
I really love it.
Yeah, that's the next thing on my list.
I purely don't.
Where is he? Like, what's happening with him?
It's just more Paul Bettany, and I love Paul Bettany.
He's fine. He can, as long as he's able to stay. As long as we get to keep hearing him. And I'm in ditches. Yeah. As long as he gets to keep saying that in interviews, I'm fine.
I generally don't have any complaints about WandaVision for the sole sake that they really did like set up for like a WandaVision TV show.
Yeah.
Like they really freaking did.
I just need to tie it in somehow. They're definitely going to because they didn't.
No, they definitely will. It's just it's like okay, like how are they gonna do? Like I have no clue. I have no idea how.
The next thing on my list was WandaVision. Do we have any theories about where he is, like what he's doing?
I have no clue. I have no theories about where Vision could fit in next. I was thinking Secret Invasion for a bit, but then I was like, I don't really know. No, I'm really maybe in Doctor Strange too, but I think that's kind of like a far-fetched thing. I don't even know. Like he could literally be anywhere, like literally anywhere. In reality, I don't think I could theorize about where he would fit in next for the sole sake that like there is no direction that we have seen as fans about the future of the MCU. You have like the fans themselves calling WandaVision, Loki, Spider-Man 3, and Doctor Strange 2 the multiverse saga.
Because we thought there was going to be a multiverse, and they were like, no, we don't know.
I'm kind of salty. I'm actually not kind of, I'm very salty about that.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. We're not going to talk about that, because
we already discussed our disappointment. It's okay.
We're not going to do that.
It's really not okay. That was kind of mean. That was really mean.
That was so mean.
I also have written down about Monica, credits scene. Definitely thinking Nick Fury.
This show really did set up Marvel as a whole. You've got like 2 movies already set up, possibly 3 for considering like Spider-Man 3, No Way Home. I'm like, what's the
I know. Every single time I try to think of the name of that movie, I get so confused because I just go through each title in my head and then I'm just like, Spider-Man 3, Spider-man 3. That's what I'm calling it. I've got one more thing on my list, actually. It's just Scarlet Witch.
They dropped her name. They got her a new costume. She looks hella hot.
They
oh my
did
God.
that perfectly, I think. Awesome. It was so awesome. I know that I would have rather just like some other things get closed up, but I was totally fine with her becoming the real Scarlet Witch.
That was incredible. Oh my God. That is so good.
And what do we think she's doing in the mountains? Is she just like Luke on Octu now. She's just training and reading her sacred Jedi texts.
We get like 1,000 views on this because we mentioned Star Wars.
The sacred Jedi texts.
I think that she might be, yeah, she's probably doing that. But I think it's also like to learn more for herself. She doesn't know what she's doing.
Because there's one part where she like yells at Agatha, "I'm not a witch, no one taught me anything." Don't mean to sound cliche when I say she doesn't know who she is, but like she really just does not know who she is.
No,
it's not like a personal discovering your true self thing. No, like she genuinely does not know who she is, and she's going to read a book about herself.
I feel like there's like a lot of complaints about the show as like a whole. Like it's like this didn't happen in the show. It's like, yeah, there's this thing called COVID, obviously.
And also a lot of it is just once again because people theorized and they were sad that they were wrong. That's okay. That sounds like a you problem because you're not the writer of the show.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was really good. Special effects were incredible. Costumes were so incredible. You add like the storyline itself is an incredible storyline. Yeah. You've got like, all of these people that are like watching WandaVision, like they're like, oh my god, it's a new thing on Disney. I don't watch it. It's like, oh, I'm so mad this didn't happen. Like that's it. It's like no, it's like this sets up everything.
Yeah, I just genuinely don't understand how people watch that show without like knowing or watching any of the other movies.
Like, I'm sorry.
I could not believe there were real people that were actually watching this show without having watched the movies. Because when I watched it with my parents, my dad, he watched the movies, my mom didn't. I would have to explain, like, everything to her before we watched it. But I don't know how people
How do you genuinely watch?
Did that? How do you just sit down? Like, is it just for fun? You're just watching it for fun? Like, do you know
like,
anything?
Obviously, you're like mad. Like, duh, that's...
You're confused.
I feel like the miscellaneous section of, like, my things are, like, it's like, where is Wanda, more or less? Like, we know that she's in the mountains, but, like, is it, like, a specific place that's, like, related to the comics? Like, a specific place that's, like, related to something that's, like, bigger? How did Wanda herself get the Darkhold? It was in Agatha's basement. It's like, how did you get the book that was in Agatha's basement? Why is the hex a hexagon? Like, what? Why is...
Yeah,
why
that's so random. Okay, listen to me. I don't know if you picked up on this or not, but this just, like, clicked so randomly for me. It's probably been super obvious to everyone else. Hex is like a witch's spell, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know why that never clicked, and I'm like, do these two have anything to do with each other?
But, like, why a hexagon? Like, is it, like, is that the reason?
It's just for the pun. It's just for the pun. That's
it. Witches?
That's just for the pun.
Is that the reason? I was
Yes.
like, okay.
Yes, it is. In my opinion, yes. That was just to confuse me into feeling stupid.
So, we know that, like, Hayward was, like, looking for, like, Vision, like, in the hex and everything. What was he gonna do with a fake Vision?
Yeah.
What was
He was creating a weapon.
Hayward?
He's creating a weapon. How did he do this legally? How?
No one said anything!
Thank you! I don't understand. That should be, isn't that illegal?
What?
And there were so many people that were working on him too, so I don't understand how they just got by with that. It doesn't make any sense to me, unless they were all just like Hayward's cronies or whatever.
So they have the Vision's body to dismantle it, and you know that Wanda goes to check on it after Endgame. They took 5 years to dismantle Vision's body. Excuse me, I would freaking hide the thing.
That's true. That's true. I mean, you don't know if some of them got blipped. Some of them could have gotten blipped. You don't know.
Dismantle the Vision's body. I understand. It would be like, oh, it took some time to get him out of Wakanda because of like safety things. It took time to get in our custody. But 5 years? No, it won't.
It's
no,
not
it
that hard.
won't. Like, what the frick? That should have been a year. It should have been a year, and it would have been done, and it would be like your first year, and you would freaking make him into like a super weapon, and now you're telling me that you're just looking at his wires? Like, what? I don't understand.
Oh god. So, I was thinking, overall, we should give a rating.
Yeah. Oh!
For the show.
Okay.
Out of 10. Because I already know what mine would be. I already know what it is out of 10. That's what I keep on looking down because I keep on changing my mind.
I feel like this is a, like, solid... I'm gonna say solid, like, 8.5. That's...
I'm worst. Listen. I feel like I'm gonna get hated if I say what I have. I'm saying 6 out of 10. But listen, hear me out.
Oh!
It's because I just know I just know how much I'm gonna love Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I need to make sure there's not drastic difference.
Comparing the two.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm gonna be picky with these, because if there's a show I really love, I need to prove that I really love it. WandaVision, I liked it a lot. I know it's more than likely gonna be my least favorite out of the 3 biggest new MCU shows.
That is true. Okay,
fair little point. Sad about Pietro and like the ending. So that's a few points. But,
Okay, I feel. Yeah. Thinking about it, I'm gonna change it because I feel like I can't rank. Winter Soldier will obviously be like 10 out of 10.
Exactly.
If
That's the exact point.
If it's bad, I will cry.
Just need to show that. Oh, it's not gonna be bad. It's not gonna be bad. There's no way. There's no way.
There are ways that it could
Sebastian
be bad,
Stan
but,
and Anthony Mackie. It's not gonna be bad. It's not.
So many ways it could be bad. I guess compared, I feel like as a whole, the show, thinking about it, it's probably like 6.57 to me. I feel like it doesn't hit 6, only for the fact that like it really does hit like comic points that it never that none of the other Marvel stuff has hit before. So that I really like. It lowers points because of the whole like PHO thing.
Yeah.
I feel like fan theories. I feel like theories like social media also kind of ruined it for me.
Yeah.
So
that's why I kind of stayed away from the social media. I watch theory videos, but not like insanely watch theory videos. Like to an extent where I could theorize my own stuff and then be surprised.
I think it's like a solid for me, like a 6.5 out of, I mean, a 6.5 or like a 7 out of 10, just for like those little points. I feel like it was a solid show overall. Like I feel like it won't appeal to everyone though because of like its genre and its style. Like it's not traditional MCU, and that's what I feel like it doesn't have a lot of. Like I feel like those last 3 episodes are what like I really enjoyed a lot more than the sitcom ones because it felt like an actual MCU thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what Falcon Winter Soldier is gonna have more points wise because it is traditional MCU.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we're so close.
We are
so close. Like this Friday is nothing, but the next Friday is something.
Falcon Winter Soldier! Oh my god!
Yeah. Just imagine if it ends up like sucking completely. I'm just gonna. It's gonna be so low. It's gonna be like a 4 out of 10 if I like WandaVision so much more, and I'm gonna feel bad. But you know what? I am happy with my 6. That is what I'm leaving it at.
Yeah, I know too. I'm happy with my rating. I feel like it's not like a bad MCU. It's not like something. It's like I definitely will rewatch it. I will totally rewatch it as like a whole.
I'll like rewatch the last few episodes. Probably not the first one.
I don't think I'll watch like episode 4 again, like the last 3.
I'll watch the first ones if I'm like depressed. It'll be my comfort show.
Oh my god, yes.